Hi, this is Sandy coming to you with the Sandy Cam.
So, okay, I'm sitting here with Jessie, who used to be, she started out as my fresh niece and then became artist in training. And now this season, I would say pretty much she's an artist in her own right. And as we were sitting here in this booth, she pointed to the picture behind us and she said something that really sparked my interest. So what was that, Jay?
We were just sitting here and they were talking about tile and different samples and whatnot. And I looked and I was looking at the backdrop behind us and thinking back to the summer where we went to work every day and we carved something new every day and how much fun it was, but also kind of how mentally draining it could be. So then this past summer we did a bunch of littler littler projects, so not as much carving as we usually did, and how nice of a break it was, but how I missed all of the fun, creative carving that we did with the pirate pool. We did a little bit last year, but I'm looking forward to this upcoming summer when we'll be able to immerse ourselves back into the whole, I don't know, scheme of carving for multiple days on it.
The realm of carving,
yes.
Artistry.
Yeah.
Yeah, now, okay, I know you're really good at boulders, and last year you turned a lazy boy into a chest.
Okay, that story, which has been mentioned multiple times.
Because it's a good one.
No, you can't see it in here. There was... You'll find it. Well, there was a section of... there's an area next to the waterfall itself that we needed to carve. And at first she told me to build a stand or carriage for one of the cannons we had. So I started making that, and like the wheels I had for the carriage and all that, it kind of started to look like a lazy boy recliner, and so that didn't work. So I had to switch gears and ended up making it into a treasure chest. But the whole
it became the summer joke with the homeowner
that they had a lazy boy recliner just hanging out in their backyards. They were talking like how to trust the process because they come outside and it looks like they've got a lazy boy recliner in their yard, which has no purpose for being there, and just trusting that it'll be created into something that actually fits and works with the environment.
Mm-hmm. For this new pool then, do you have anything in mind that maybe, because I'm known for the turtles, and for the pirate we started doing palm trees, mm-hmm. and Jessie's really good at carving a
signature?
Yeah, is there something that maybe you can picture in your mind you'd be interested in attempting? More treasure chests, an animal, challenging your artistic.
I'd be willing to try anything. I've never, it would just be a learning curve, because I've never really, Karen works with clay and works with all sorts of things, so she understands how to mold things and how to really bring them together. For me, carving, I've only done, boulders and trees and driftwood and, more organic materials. So I've never, besides the pirate pool where I did a couple boxes, I did a treasure chest, and I did some of the box wood planking up on the ship itself. But there's nothing that comes to mind, but I'm sure once we're in the project and you can picture what can go into specific areas, I'd be willing to try my hand at some other things. I mean, because if it looks bad, you just cover it up and start over again.
Well, let me tell you a secret. I'll tell you too, but every time I'm asked to do something new, my first response is fear. I've been carving and sculpting for 30, 40 years, and yet every time it's something new, it's that fear that it's not going to work out. But then you just have to tell yourself that, like you said, if it doesn't work out, we scrap it and we try something different. So just understand that even after 30, 40 years, fear is my first emotion. Just because you want to do it right, you want to do it well for the customer.
I don't know if I would say fear. I'd say more like apprehension.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of it. I'm just a little nervous on my ability and how it would come out in the end. So I'm not afraid of it or fearing the idea of it. I'm just I don't know if I'd have enough confidence in myself when it's first brought to me. And then when you start working it, your confidence builds as you're like, oh, I see this working, I can do this. So I think it'd be maybe like the apprehension, because I wouldn't feel confident in myself enough, like early on. But then as it goes on, as long as it's working, the confidence would rise.
Yeah, it's the expectation. At least I feel in the end, you know, they see all my turtles, so it's an expectation that I'm going to give them another turtle. And there is, for me, I think it's a little fear, because there's so much involved in a turtle.
And then you're not just recreating the same exact turtle every single time. They change with the project.
Yeah, you want to give them something new, something that is specific to their pool is what I try to do. And I guess it's just the factors of getting the turtle up high enough off the pool, or the head not so far. Just aspects like that, but once it's the initial fear, and then once you start tying the steel and getting, you know, the shape, once you see it, then you go.
Oh, that that is the hardest thing when it comes to carving, is when you don't see it. It is so frustrating. Like when you see it, I do. When you see it, it's nice, it all comes together. When you're just staring at like a lump of concrete and you're just like, I don't see it, I don't know where to add, where to take off, where to
just
scratch
add a whiny tone, and that's exactly what she says.
Yep, exactly. I get very, very frustrated when I don't see it, which I'm sure you'll see enough of it on when we start working on new projects. I get very, very frustrated.
Yeah. But she's getting better and better every year, and that's why I'm so proud of her and with Kaylee for their willingness to try, and then as they try more and more, they get better and better.
So here at the pool show is your first chance to meet Bud, seeing as the last few times he's been around, you have been out of town. What are your first impressions of Bud and the upcoming project?
Meeting Bud today made me I was already enthusiastic about the project because of the challenges that it's going to give us all. And then meeting him, I could sense that he was a person who was looking forward to us making challenges or doing the challenges on his pool. He was up for anything. Just from the feel I got from him, he was up for our specific way of doing things, our unique way, our off-center way of doing things. And it was just, I got a really good feel from Bud this morning.
Yeah, for me, they seem very open, so they don't seem very restrictive. I know we've had other times where we've had to not use a certain type of product or not use a certain type of color, and so I mean that makes it a little more challenging on us. So for me, it seems that they're going to be more open for us to play with all sorts of different colors and textures and materials throughout their backyard.
Yeah, and for me, I like to look at people's eyes, and he just had a twinkle or a mischievous look, like, okay, I'm up for anything you guys can deal out for us. So I really liked that, seeing that in his eyes, that it's going to be a good fit this summer.
After Christmas, we had a meeting where all of us who were still in town of the company and Bud and Vera sat down and had a kind of just a discussion of expectations and what we wanted. And at the end of it, Bud had said that something along the lines of, you might not be able to tell based on my facial expression, but I'm very, very excited about this project. So he may not be somebody who's going to be like some of our customers who are extremely over the top and excited, like very vocal and very animated. He's a little more reserved, but he's still very excited for the project.
I could see that in his eyes. They were just bright, and he was ready for us to start tomorrow, I think, or yesterday.
Already be there. Already working.
Yeah, so that's always great when you can see that in a customer, and that just builds our rapport with them as we, get a feel for, what we can get away with in their yard.